Okay, so I just wanted to talk about my first One Direction concert experience. My last video was just about the first time I heard about them and stuff like that, so I wanted to do the first concert I went to. So in late May of 2012, we went to a concert in Camden, New Jersey, and we drove down there at we got there at 12, and the concert wasn't going to start till 7. But my dad had called his friend a week earlier to see if we could get better tickets because we had tickets, they just weren't that good. And he said, yeah, I can get you tickets. So we got tickets, and we had to meet this lady in order to get them, so that's why we got there early. And so we were just waiting around the venue for a while until we got the call from Dolores. That was the lady who's going to give them to us. And she called my dad, and she was like, hello, I need you to meet me at this place. So we did. We were freaking out because we're oh my gosh, we're going to get to see One Direction soon. And so we got to the lady, and she's like, if anybody asks you, you're my nieces. And we were like, okay. So we didn't really know what that was about. But there were tons of girls lined up outside of the doors because they couldn't get in yet. And we got ushered under this tape and gate thing, and then we got to go inside, and we went to this booth, and this guy was like, you must be pretty special in order to be getting in here. And we were like, oh really, we didn't know. And so he gave us wristbands, and then we got put in this line, and we were like, what's happening? Because we thought we would just go sit down or something. And we asked the girls around us, and they're like, oh yeah, we're in the line to meet One Direction. And we were like, what? This is the line to meet them? And they were like, oh yeah. And so we were talking to a lot of the girls in line, and most of them had won radio station contests. And one girl, her uncle was a manager at Sony or something, so she got to meet them because of that. And we were kind of confused because usually the meet and greet happens before the sound check, but this was after the sound check, so we were like, no, it's probably not gonna happen. But we got into this line, and this guy came around and asked for our emails, and we were like, okay. And so I gave him mine, and then we got ushered into this room, and we see Preston and Paul, and we were like, oh my gosh, this has to be real now. And we waited in line, and then they would let 10 people go into a room at a time, and so we had to wait because we were the very last ones in the line. And then when we finally got in the room with One Direction, it was amazing. They kept looking over at us, and I know probably every girl says that, but seriously, we were the last ones in line, and so we could tell that they were looking right at us, and it was super cool. And we kept smiling and waving at them, and they would smile back and stuff. So we finally got up to them, and I wanted to be in between Louis and Niall because Niall's my favorite, and Niall was on the end, so I thought, why not be in between them? But they wouldn't move out of the way, so I kind of just awkwardly scooched my body in front of Niall's. And while I was doing that, he was like, oh, you're a cheeky lassie. And I was like, oh my gosh, did you really just say that? And so I was kind of still fangirling, and the picture went on, and I had my arm around Niall and was smiling. And yeah, so basically that's all the time we had with them. But we said bye, and then they're like, oh, bye, thanks for the picture. And then we left, and we were freaking out. But we found our seats, and we were in the 12th row, and it was super cool, and the concert was amazing. But yeah, so that was my first One Direction concert experience. Thanks for watching.